All right, so Global Capability Centers,
Hmm.
GCCs. We hear that term thrown around a lot these days.
Yeah.
But what are they really all about? Why are they suddenly popping up everywhere? And why is everyone talking about Telangana, India as like the new GCC hotspot? We're going to do a deep dive today and look into that.
Sounds good.
Our source for this deep dive is the NASSCOM GCC Playbook. And this one focuses specifically on Telangana.
Interesting.
So, when we hear global capability centers, I think a lot of people still picture like basic outsourcing, you know?
Right, just like cost-cutting measures.
Yeah, exactly, like moving jobs overseas to save money. But this playbook paints a totally different picture, doesn't it?
It really does. The whole idea of GCCs has evolved so much. Today's GCCs are more about innovation and strategy. They're hubs where companies can tap into specialized skills and resources to drive their global operations forward.
Yeah, they're not just back offices anymore, right?
Exactly. They're becoming key players in like research and development, advanced analytics, even things like product design.
Yeah. So like shaping the future of the company globally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this playbook zeroes in on Telangana, India, as kind of a case study.
Hmm.
It claims that Telangana is quickly becoming the place to be for these GCCs. So the question is, why Telangana? What makes it so special?
Well, I think one of the key factors the playbook highlights is the talent pool in Telangana. They have a massive, highly skilled workforce, especially in areas like IT and engineering. And it's not just the quantity, it's the quality.
Right.
The report talks about how Telangana has really focused on building a strong educational framework. They have programs in place to make sure that graduates have the skills that global companies are looking for.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. The playbook keeps mentioning the skilled talent pool,
Hmm.
but what makes it so skilled? Is it just that they have a lot of people with tech degrees, or is there something more to it?
Yeah. It's definitely more than just having a degree. They have this program called TASK. It stands for the Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge. And what they do is they work directly with industry leaders, like big tech companies, to design their curriculums.
Oh, yeah.
So they're making sure that what students are learning is directly aligned with what the industry actually needs.
So they're graduating ready to hit the ground running.
Exactly. And the playbook focuses on how this is especially true in fields like AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, these cutting edge areas where demand is skyrocketing globally.
Which are exactly the areas GCCs are focusing on.
Precisely. So Telangana is really strategically positioning itself to meet that demand.
Okay, so you've got the talent, but talent needs the right environment to thrive, right? I mean, you need the infrastructure, the support systems, the policies. And
Absolutely.
the playbook talks a lot about strategic government policies in Telangana. So what exactly are these policies, and how do they make Telangana so attractive for GCCs?
Well, one major policy is the TSIPS. It's basically a single window clearance system for investment approvals. You know how businesses usually have to jump through hoops, tons of paperwork, multiple departments, all that?
Oh, yeah, the red tape.
Exactly. Well, TSIPS streamlines all that, making it super easy for businesses to get set up in Telangana. It basically cuts out all the bureaucratic hassle.
So it makes investing in Telangana much less of a headache.
Yeah. And then, on top of that, they have all sorts of incentives like tax breaks and subsidies specifically designed to attract GCCs.
So they're really rolling out the red carpet, not the red tape.
Exactly.
So it sounds like they've created this perfect ecosystem. You've got the highly skilled talent, the government support, the streamlined processes, and I'm guessing this is what's attracting these big global companies to set up their GCCs there, right?
Exactly. And it's not just, hypothetical. The playbook actually gives some concrete examples of this in action.
Yes. They highlight a bunch of success stories. I was especially struck by that one about the healthcare company. They set up a GCC in Telangana initially to, just streamline some of their back office operations. But then things took an unexpected turn, didn't they?
Yeah, that's a really interesting example. So they went in with this kind of limited scope thinking, okay, let's just improve efficiency, cut some costs. But then because of the talent and the ecosystem in Telangana, they were able to do so much more. They actually ended up developing some pretty groundbreaking AI solutions for healthcare.
Yeah, and those solutions weren't just for like their internal use, right?
No, we had global implications. They were able to roll out these solutions to their operations worldwide.
So it really goes to show how these GCCs in the right environment can become so much more than just cost-saving centers. They can become real hubs of innovation.
Exactly. And that's what's so fascinating about Telangana. It seems to be cracking the code on how to cultivate that environment.
So this playbook, it's not just a look how great Telangana is kind of thing. It's almost like a blueprint, isn't it?
It really is.
like a roadmap for other regions who are thinking, hey, we want a piece of the GCC pie.
Mm.
So who should be paying attention to this? Like, who would find this playbook really valuable?
Well, I think first and foremost, entrepreneurs and investors.
Right.
People who are looking for opportunities in this booming GCC market. Telangana is clearly a place to watch. But then also policymakers from other regions, they can learn a lot from what Telangana has done right.
Yeah, like how to create policies that attract investment, how to foster the right kind of talent.
Exactly. And honestly, anyone who's interested in the future of work, in how the global economy is evolving, especially in this digital age, they should take a look at this.
It really highlights how GCCs are becoming these key players, you know? As companies become more global, more reliant on technology, these centers are only going to become more important.
And the playbook actually hints at even more future opportunities for Telangana specifically.
Yeah, they do. They don't go into too much detail, though.
Right, it's more like a teaser. But it makes you think, could this model be replicated elsewhere? Or are there some unique factors about Telangana that are driving this success?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see how things unfold. But this deep dive has definitely piqued my curiosity. It seems like we've only scratched the surface of Telangana's GCC boom. I'd encourage everyone to check out the NASSCOM playbook if you want to learn more. It's a really fascinating read.
I agree. Definitely worth checking out.
All right, that's all the time we have for today.
Great discussion.
See you next time.
Bye.